My name is Daniel Harris. I'm 38 years old, and this is how I took revenge on the family that stole the career I built with my own hands. I'm sitting in a sleek downtown office right now, pen in hand, signing a contract worth more than I used to dream about when I first started in this industry. Across the polished glass table sits a major client, one that used to belong to the company I gave 15 years of my life to. I smirk, not just because of the deal, but because of the irony. These same clients once shook hands with my uncle, my cousin, and my nephew, believing they were the future of the business. They had no idea that one day they'd be walking away from them and straight into my office. But let me rewind, because this victory didn't come without blood in the water. I remember the day it all changed. I walked into the office, my chest full of hope, expecting the moment I had been working toward for over a decade. The vice president promotion. I had put in the hours, the travel, the sleepless nights, and the impossible deadlines. I was ready. I had earned it. But when I pushed open the heavy oak doors to the boardroom, my stomach dropped. My chair was already filled, and sitting in it was Brandon, my 26-year-old nephew. The room erupted in applause, clapping me on the back like I should celebrate this. "We're keeping it in the family," my uncle announced with a grin, as if that explained why a kid with half my experience and none of my grit was suddenly my boss. Brandon stood, shaking my hand with that smug grin, the one that said he knew this had been mine. That was the moment I realized I hadn't just lost a promotion. I had lost the career I had built with my own hands. I wish I could say I swallowed my pride and moved on. But that's not what happened. What I lost that day wasn't just a title. I lost my sense of worth. The salary cut they forced on me wrecked our savings. The stress seeped into my marriage, turning dinners with my wife into tense silences. I started waking up in the middle of the night, my chest tight, wondering how the people I trusted most could betray me so easily. They didn't just take my job, they tried to erase me. But here's the thing, they had no idea who they were dealing with, because I wasn't going down quietly. They thought they had shut the door on me, but what they didn't know was that I was already building another one they'd never see coming until it slammed shut in their faces. And sitting here now, signing this deal, I can finally say they were right about one thing. It stayed in the family, just not the way they expected. I grew up in a working-class family, the kind where every dollar mattered and every sacrifice had a purpose. My father, Richard Harris, started Harris Logistics out of a garage with a second-hand truck and more grit than resources. I was the first in my family to graduate from college, the one everyone said would take our company into the future. From the moment I walked into that office at 22, I knew I wasn't just working a job. I was carrying my father's dream forward. Those early years were brutal. I wasn't given a cushy desk job or easy responsibilities. I stayed late, unpaid, cleaning up messes no one else wanted to touch. I handled shipments that went sideways at 3 in the morning, negotiated with angry clients ready to walk, and worked weekends while my friends were at the lake or out celebrating. If someone needed a last-minute presentation at dawn on a Monday, I was the guy who made it happen. Slowly but surely, I started winning over clients. Not because I was the smartest man in the room, but because I refused to give up. Persistence became my trademark. My father always said, "Daniel, hard work pays off, maybe not right away, but always in the end." And I believed him. That belief carried me through the years when exhaustion sat heavy on my shoulders and my social life shrank to nothing. While my friends posted photos of trips to Europe or beach weddings, I was in fluorescent-lit warehouses, clipboard in hand, making sure every detail lined up. Family was complicated. My brother Mark had taken over as CEO when Dad retired. Mark was sharp, confident, and always had a way of making people feel like they owed him something. He had the charisma I didn't, and he used it well. His son, Brandon, grew up in the shadow of that power. Spoiled, entitled, and cocky, Brandon had never worked a day of hard labor in his life. Yet somehow, he was always at the center of company celebrations. I told myself it didn't matter. I had experience, I had results, and I had loyalty. That was what counted, or so I thought. Rachel, my wife, used to beg me to slow down. I'd come home at midnight, loosen my tie, and collapse on the couch while she handed me a plate of reheated dinner. "Daniel, you can't keep doing this," she'd whisper, brushing the stress lines from my forehead. "Your health is going to break before you get what you're chasing." And I'd always give her the same answer, half promise, half prayer. "Once I make VP, it'll all be worth it." That title, Vice President, was more than a promotion. It was a finish line, proof that the years of sacrifice had meant something. I told Rachel we could finally take that vacation we'd postponed 3 times. I told her we'd start the family we'd been talking about.